tablet or an IPTV. If we create somehow or another freemium model around video, there's a huge, huge opportunity, I think, that nobody's tapped into yet. So those are some of the things that, seen around the future, it wasn't like I made this up or I was Karnak and I could, predict the future by my. It was just digging into the data and understanding the trends and asking why. It's almost like you can have your own foresight of where you want to be and what the opportunity will be if certain barriers are overcome. So that was secret number 5. See the future, but in all kidding aside, be in a growth area that most people would believe be in a growth area. Video, smartphones, tablets. Secret number 4, have a simple communication strategy. Do not assume that people understand the industry. So whenever I give a speech on anything, I always give it to my wife or a colleague who's not involved. Mainstream media, a lot of people don't understand digital media still, believe it or not. A lot of people may not understand the information industry as well. Investors like to explain their investments not only to other people in the industry. I, as a person, like to explain my investments to my wife, to my kids, to my friends. And there's something to be said about being able to explain the investments. There's a psychological emotion attached to saying, you know what, I'd much rather be able to invest in something I can tell my colleagues and friends what I'm doing. And mainstream media the same way. I've been with NBC News for the last year. I tell them a lot of great stories. If they don't understand it, they're not going to put it on the news. But if they can understand your story, there's a greater opportunity for mainstream media to capture your company. But you got to do it in 1 minute or less. Because in mainstream media and friends' attention span these days, everybody's got ADD. You can't do it in a minute. You're not going to be able to get it done. And in a minute, and you should practice this, what is your product? Why would customers and clients buy your product? What is your edge? What is your edge that no other competition has that differentiates yourself? And how can you sustain your edge longer than 2 weeks? If a competition comes in, what is it that can get me comfortable, get other investors comfortable, that your edge can be sustainable? Have to do that in a minute. Can't do that in a minute, it's going to be tough for you to sell your company to investors, to customers, to suppliers, and so forth. So I want to show you a video of one company that we invest in the Peacock Equity Fund. That's still part of the Comcast Venture portfolio. It's called Healthline. We invested in this company in 2007, before health and figuring out about your own health became kind of trendy. Back then, you just talk to your doctor prescribed it, and then if you had to see a specialist, you see a specialist, and you just trusted him or her. Now, we want to know about health ourselves. We want to save, given all the healthcare costs. We want to self-diagnose. We want to understand our own symptoms. We want to choose the best doctors, right? And we don't want to maybe go to a general physician because they may just say, hey, take 2 aspirins, call in the morning, and by the way, it's $150, right? All due respect, part of the challenge is we want to save money in healthcare. So Healthline was an area of focus which says, let's go and try to self-diagnose a lot of our stuff ourselves. And we can then go to specialists in our own area. By the way, do you know which is the biggest health digital media site or health digital media company? Anybody? Well, most people think it's WebMD. It is actually Healthline, because Healthline is not only a site, but it powers Yahoo Health, it powers Pfizer's health site, it powers Johnson & Johnson's, it powers United Healthcare, powers Aetna. All right, so some of the things is you don't have to be the greatest website we talked about, but you gotta have something that gives you an edge. And the edge that Healthline had that we were excited about, it's powering all these other health sites. It's not the brand name, but it is the company that's powering these health sites, including Walmart's, as an example. So I'm gonna play a video, a 1 minute video of their kind of promo, how they're different. Let's take a look.
Complex and amazing. The challenge is to bring a new level of understanding of how it works and pathological changes to help consumers better manage their health. Healthline Networks and Visible Productions, in partnership with GE Health Imagination, created body maps to allow users to learn about the body in a new and powerful way. Body Maps allows users to explore what's happening inside the body with interactive 360-degree 3D views of layer-by-layer systems and structures. Powered by Healthline's industry-leading medically guided search, Body Maps includes easy-to-understand terms, related articles, and videos that incorporate the same high-quality, clinically accurate medical imagery produced by Visible Productions and used on the Dr. Oz Show, giving consumers access to the most robust health decision support information available. Bodies in Motion is an extension of Body Maps, in-depth, focused visual learning modules designed to illustrate particular health topics, conditions, and treatment methods.
Okay, so that's an example, right? You guys got it pretty quickly what they do? Gives you an opportunity, 3D images, to learn about yourself and then diagnose your own symptoms and find a doctor locally. So those are the companies. And by the way, we invested in 2007. Its revenue CGR rate since 2005, even before we invested in it, has been about 66% compounded. Because they had a simple strategy, easy to understand, not only for the clients, but easy to understand for United Healthcare, for Aetna, for GE, for Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. And they were able to communicate it very succinctly. And the guy, Wes Shaw, I know him personally, but that's the key, that you got to be able to do that. So next slide. If I can change the slide. Yep, there we go. Oops. Secret number 3. Do not be an innovator. Are you an innovator or entrepreneur? If you're an innovator, all you do is create ideas. If you're an entrepreneur, you commercialize these ideas and you make money. And as investors, we love to talk to people that understand how to make money. A lot of our people that present business plans to us talk about their company, talk about their great idea, which is fascinating. But then they don't spend a lot of time talking about how to engage clients, how to understand supplier and client relationship, how they do customer service. And by the way, there's a saying that says, always know your customer's customer. Well, do they know who an investor's customer is? Do you know who the actual customer of an investor is? We had this discussion earlier this morning at breakfast. If you're a PE firm, you know the way PE firm works, right? You get a fee and you get like a 20% on the gain. A lot of people think that the actual customer of a PE firm or venture capital are our investors. Well, no. Our investors do supply the funding so we can go and invest in companies. And yes, they do pay us a 2% or something like that management fee. But the way venture capital and private equity company firms work is the product we sell and the way we make money at the end of the day is by buying companies at a lower price and selling it at a higher price than we bought it at, right? That's the model. So the people that actually make a profit for us at the end of the day isn't our investors.